Deadbeat Shadows asks, did the message board you spoke of where you discovered the horror of Twilight happen to be the forums of Gaia Online? Yes. Angel Belacqua asked, why do a majority of the fantards/bitches not know how to spell? Because they're idiots. Anime Rocker 17 asks, what else has Smire raped that you used to like, but find it hard to after this travesty? Depending on what you're asking about. Werewolves. The concept of shape-shifting. Organized enemies. Vans. Song from Bohemia asks, why are my kind, aka, or in parentheses, teenage girls, so stupid? You might want to ask a psychologist about that. I think it's because they're stupid. There's not really an explanation for stupidity other than it just is. Gumball713 asked a couple questions. Can I get the Twilight series banned from school? Technically, yes, but I wouldn't advise it because banned books tend to get a lot more interest than books that aren't banned, so you'd only be hurting yourself to do that. And before I ask the question, okay, put aside the fact that Edward is mentally 80 years older than Bella. I'm focusing on their physical ages. Shouldn't Bella be the pedo? Bella is 19 or 20, and Edward never turned legal. He's still 17. Well, that would really depend on what state you're in. Sometimes the legal age is 16, depending on like parental permission or what have you. But no, Bella would not be the pedo in that case. It's definitely all about the actual mind age. And technically it's not pedophilia. There's another word for people who are sexually drawn to teenagers, which I can't think of off the top of my head, but when I think of it, I'll put it about here. Did Stephanie Meyer publish fan fiction and rename it Breaking Dawn? That's a good question. Some people have mentioned that they had read a fan fiction that was written around the time of Eclipse that pretty much did everything that occurred in Breaking Dawn, which I thought to be hilarious, but I don't think it was Stephanie Meyer that posted it. So, I don't think so. Now, if you're talking about the quality of the writing, yes, it's on the par with a very, very bad fan fiction, but I don't think it was done intentionally as fan fiction, so. Helldevil75 asks several questions. If you're in Edward's position and had to become a vampire, what would you do other than suicide? Quite a lot of things. I'd probably become some sort of bounty hunter. I'd have a lot of fun with it. I wouldn't just sit around moping all the time. I'd actually go out and do things. I'd use it. If a rabid Twilight fan kidnapped you, put you in a basement, chained you, and forced you to listen to a Twilight audio tape for the books for a whole month non-stop, how would you react during that time period? Yeah. probably a lot more calmly than you'd think. It's not during that time period that the person would have to be worried. No, the fan would have to be worried about when the month was over and they unchained me. If you had a one-on-one Q&A interview with Meyer, please name 3 questions you would consider asking her that you have been interested the most. Why? When Meyer finishes the book on Meyer Maids, will you consider doing an abridged on that too? If it's as bad as Twilight and gets anywhere near as popular, you bet. Will you perhaps give us some spoilers on what your final episode will be like? How long you predict it will be after you finish abridging the entire Twilight series? You want a spoiler? And how long? Well, I'll probably be pacing the final things after each book gets finished. So after I finish Twilight, I'll do a finale for that. After I finish New Moon, I'll do a finale for that, and so on. Now, for a grand finale for the actual series as a whole, there's no telling what I might do. But if I do a grand finale for the entire series as a whole, expect epic lulls. And Sparkle54 asks, are you pissed that Meyer won't do crap about her rabbits? It's an irritation, and yes, it'd be great if she actually came out and said something telling the Fantards to stop hitting people or chasing them or beating them or raving at them, but considering I'm pretty sure she lives under a rock, and since we all know that Seth does not let any information get to her that could damage her, I'd say I'd have to be more pissed with Seth that he's not letting her find out about all of it. X23 Biggest Fan asks, why do you think SM named her books Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn when these titles have nothing to do with their content? Pretty much the original title Twilight was more of her editor's idea or her agent or someone. But basically, Twilight wasn't her idea for the title. She wanted to name it Forks. Yeah. So, probably New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn came after that when they were trying to think of what else they could name the books that would have it have some connection with the title of the first book. So, there's no telling why they were named what they were. After Twilight, probably New Moon because it's the darkest time. Emo. Well, the others I don't know. But Sarah asks, from the entire series of Twilight, what were your favorite parts, if there were any? I'd have to say the end of the book. Each book's ending. I mean, like, the final period saying that it was over. As for an actual event, I kind of like that Jacob actually told her that Edward was no good for her. That, then again, no one ever listened to Jacob on that. So, and Sarah also asks, will you marry me? You know, I'm going to have to say that